When I was 17 years old, I had an abortion.
Hi, I'm Max, and abortion should be legalized.
Good morning, I'm Althea. Abortion should be legalized.
Hi, my name is Renee, and I believe abortion should be legalized. Abortion has been taking place in Jamaica, but it's under the quiet. Women find persons who they can buy these pills from that induces miscarriage. They take the pill and they endure the pain as it takes effect for a couple of days, while having to keep it quiet because they don't want to be prosecuted. Legalization of abortion in Jamaica can help to save the lives of women who are doing abortion illegally and unsafely.
Hello, today I want to share with you a personal story. I am wearing a sunglass and a hat to hide my identity because I do not want to be shamed by the general public for my decision. When I was 17 years old, I had an abortion. One might say that I'm just out of high school, so I could have had the baby. One could have said that nothing is wrong because I passed the age of consent. However, my boyfriend was not ready for a child. Neither was I. My parents had saved up money to send me to college, and I would have been the first person in my family to attend college. Therefore, I did not want to disappoint them. So I went ahead and did that procedure. I'm going to walk you through it. When I found out that I was pregnant, I was shocked. Basically, I couldn't speak. All I could do was cry. Cry because I knew I was ready, and cry because I didn't know what I was going to do. I couldn't share this information with my family. My boyfriend knew somebody that that did the procedure before, and he referred me to her. We both went there, and she took us to a doctor's office. That's the day after I found out that I was pregnant. I remember the experience like it was yesterday. I remember entering the doctor's office, and he told us how much to get the procedure done. I think it was $50,000, and I did not have the money. However, my boyfriend borrowed a loan. He paid the doctor, and he inserted pills in my vagina to sorry, it's very emotional. Anyways, yes. Inserted pills in my vagina to terminate the pregnancy. He told me that I would have that evening I would feel some pain. I would see stuff like I'm menstruating, and that's true. I went home and I was having cramps, and basically I saw my period. So yeah, I thought that was over and done. However, days passed and I felt sick. My breast was tender. Everything that a pregnant woman should be going through, I was going through. Okay. We called back the doctor's office, and he said that we should come in because not all the time that procedure works. We went in, and he put me to sleep basically, and he extracted the fetus from my body, from my womb. It was, while I did not feel any pain while he was doing that because I was all cold, when I woke up, I felt discomfort down there. I felt weak for days. I could have died basically because I caught an infection from the procedure being done. And when I went to my gynecologist, he basically said that if I didn't come in earlier, maybe I would have lost my womb. Maybe I could have died because I was terribly ill. Though I've passed all of that now. The scars are still basically there.
Good evening, everyone. I am Anne-Marie Smith-Campbell, and today I'll be looking at a very important topic. What is the current mortality rate related to unsafe abortion practices in Jamaica and the Caribbean, and to what extent is legalization of abortion expected to reduce this rate? Abortion is illegal in Jamaica under the Offences Against the Person Act of 1864, which is based on the 1861 English Act of the same title. Under the Act, any person who intending to procure a miscarriage, regardless of whether the woman is with child, unlawfully administers to her any poison or noxious thing, or unlawfully uses any instrument or other means to the same end, is subject to life imprisonment with or without hard labor. A pregnant woman who acts in the same way with respect to her own pregnancy is subject to the same penalty. The maternal mortality ratio in Jamaica is relatively high, 120 per 100,000 live births in 1990. However, although liberalization of the current abortion law has been a topic of debate in Jamaica since the 1970s, and the government is concerned about the large number of women treated for septic abortion. As of 1999, there had been no change in the law. According to WHO, World Health Organization 2021, around 73 million induced abortions take place worldwide each year. 6 out of 10, which is 61% of all unintended pregnancy, and 3 out of 10, 29% of all pregnancies end in induced abortion. About 8.5 million women worldwide suffer complications from unsafe abortions annually. According to WHO 2017, each year between 4.7% to 13.2% of maternal deaths worldwide can be attributed to unsafe abortion. World Health Organization estimates that in 2008, 47,000 women died from unsafe abortion, translating to 30 unsafe abortion deaths per 100,000 live births. About 8.5 million women worldwide suffer complications from unsafe abortions annually. Around 7 million women are admitted to hospitals every year in developing countries because of unsafe abortion. These health complications have an impact in countries' total health expenditure and in family finances. The annual cost of treating major complications from unsafe abortion is estimated at US 553 million. Since 1975, the government of Jamaica has acknowledged that the practice of unsafe abortions and high rates of maternal mortality in the island are a significant public health problem. Unfortunately, any attempt to focus on this issue through legal reform has often been sidelined by both religious and moral groups. In 2008, the issue was once again on the government's agenda, but once more, the public discourse was sidelined away from the main issues concerning women's health. As a result, many women in the island continue to face health complications as a result of unsafe abortion, which may be performed in unsanitary conditions. Will legalization of abortion reduce mortality rate? According to Barbaria, 2008, in 1972, the year before Roe v. Wade, the rate of maternal mortality in the United States was 34 deaths for every 100,000 births. In 1973, after legalization of abortion, the rate declined by 50%. In conclusion, the mortality rate in Jamaica and the Caribbean, as per statistics, can be considered as high, and legalizing abortion may reduce the mortality rate by providing a safe and legal system in how the procedures of abortion should be enacted, thus saving lives of women.
Alright, so my topic is what it means to legalize abortion. To legalize abortion would be not only to save the economy, but to prevent more children from being born into neglectful families, reduce societal depression, would give the human race a better chance of creating a generation that will end all wars, poverty in a sense, and give us that chance of creating an actual golden generation. Some effects of abortion would be most women experience some of the following after abortion. Bleeding on average, bleeding should last 14 days but can go up to 21 days. Cramping, dizziness, drowsiness, nausea and vomiting. Some possible complications might be damage to the womb or cervix, excessive bleeding, incomplete abortion requiring additional surgery or abortion procedures, scarring of the inside of the uterus, infection of the uterus or fallopian tube, sepsis or septic shock, uterine perforation, and sometimes, worst case scenario, death.
Okay. Greetings. Today I will be discussing what roles do government policies and funding play in reducing maternal mortality rates in Jamaica and the Caribbean, and how might legalizing abortion impact these policies and funding. So let's get into it. So the Caribbean region has a relatively high maternal mortality rate, and the government policies and funding can play a very important role in reducing it. Here are some reasons why the government policies and funding can help. So number one, improving access to quality health care. So the government can invest in improving the quality and accessibility of healthcare services, particularly in rural areas and remote areas where there is limited access to health care. This can be done by building new health facilities or faculties such as clinics, training healthcare workers, and providing adequate medical supplies and equipment. So improved access to healthcare can help prevent and treat complications during pregnancy and childbirth, which will reduce maternal mortality rate. Also, promoting family planning. So many of you guys have seen on television where there is ads going around about family planning. So that is one way. So the government can invest in family planning programs that will educate women and couples on family planning methods and help them access contraceptives. Family planning can help to reduce unintended pregnancies, which are leading causes of maternal mortality. Also, contraceptives and safe sex can be taught in school, which can help to prevent teenage pregnancies or unwanted pregnancies. Additionally, addressing social determinants of health. So maternal mortality rates are often influenced by social determinants of health, such as poverty, low education levels, a lack of access to necessities such as water, food, and sanitization. While we may not see that as much in Jamaica, we can take Haiti for example. So the government can invest in programs that will address these social determinants of health, such as providing education and job opportunities, while improving access to clean water and sanitation, and help to reduce poverty. And the fourth reason is strengthening emergency transport for women. In other terms, strengthening emergency obstetric care. Governments can invest in emergency obstetric care by providing emergency transportation for pregnant women and training healthcare workers to manage obstetric emergencies. Because oftentimes when a woman goes to clinic and there is an emergency, they would have to probably take a taxi if they're in the rural area, take a taxi and go to an hospital, or they will call for the ambulance and it will take a longer time for them to get into the urban areas where the hospitals are. And then finally, monitoring and evaluating maternal health programs. So government can invest in monitoring and evaluating maternal health programs to ensure that they are effective and efficient. This can help to identify areas that need improvements and ensure that resources are being used effectively.
What is the impact of public perception and cultural attitudes towards abortion on the effectiveness of legalized abortion services in reducing mortality rates in Jamaica and the Caribbean, and how can these attitudes be addressed to promote positive health outcomes? So first, let me look on what is the impact of public perception on abortion. For some persons, abortion is recognized, seen as normal practice or act because it is such as like that commonplace being done in the community, meaning a number of persons continue to do abortion within a particular community. All right, so for other views, there are views expressed by both male and female partners on abortion. And there's a deviation from the social norms and the perspectives that are embedded in such as religious beliefs, cultural beliefs, and society laws and regulations. So the community members include neighboring persons may or may not share the negative opinions related to pregnancy termination, but the public perception do causes expressions in feelings, and feelings such as stigma. Well, it gives a stigma and feelings such as fear and shame. Abortion has some degree of privacy and secrecy, and for some women, they may disclose information, but in majority cases, talks are done only to very close friends, family, and confidants. There may be shared views, expressions, thoughts, but importantly, such as the act of abortion, it gets a stress, it gets labeled and it gets stigmatized. And some people they hold their concepts that women who happens to do this act, which is abortion, they commit a murder. They are classified as prostitutes in some cases, or they are seen as a rape victim, or for some, they say the woman or women them lie down too quick. Abortion is a decision making for those choices. Let me go again. Abortion is a decision making for those who make that choice to terminate their pregnancy. Women do abortion for different reasons. However, amidst the reasons for an abortion, the public perception about the abortion can impact such individual, and depending on the positive and negative perceptions around them, it can cause them to be psychological or social and emotional im- impact or effect they can have. So let me go again. They can have psychological or social or emotional effect in most cases. What is the impact of cultural attitudes on abortion? The cultural attitudes on abortion, it varies, I would say. The different countries and ethnicity and gender do have different cultural practices, right? So there are different systems with their practices and beliefs, and this also include such as the different family units, different groups, organizations, communities, and indeed they differ in views, perceptions, and as we are on the topic, maybe different approach in abortion practices and their health services and providers would vary depending on the country. And I could go on and on. According to some findings from researching data, cultural attitudes, we must face that there are factors as it relates to cultural attitudes. So, culture plays a major role in our society today. And even in abortion, we can see the stigma that it has. And sometimes there is a negative impact based on people's experience in the period of the abortion care, or even within your surrounding for those who know you have done abortion. So this also lead to decreased reproductive autonomy. The cultural attitudes towards abortion are community stigma, and this is based on the different conceptions, beliefs, and such like. Cultural attitudes are determined because the way so- of socialization into cultural norms, religious norms, and gender norms. So cultural norms are based on the society and community beliefs and laws. Religious norms are based on biblical and religious belief, practices, and teachings. Gender norms are based on women and men, gender roles, identity, and beliefs. One of the example based on the gender and religious norms is that the cultural attitude towards abortion. For a woman, there is a certain kind of principle. So, as I said before, based on your ethnic group, um, maybe your religious belief, I'm saying that based on those principles, women are looked on in different perspectives. So the cultural attitude towards abortion can cause a stigma, as I said earlier. And so woman that a principle is based on, such as woman should not engage in sex outside of marriage, and that pregnancy defines motherhood, and that is a characteristic of a female identity. The norms also define by gender, age, and marriage status. The culture attitude towards an individual may be on such principles. And so, carrying out an abortion, you might be defined or recommended as worthless, carefree, and just that you have nothing about you because of how the culture see things, how you were socialized into the community or society. So how important is marriage before sexual intercourse? Pregnancy. So these are factors that are considered. Another factor to consider that contribute to cultural attitudes are such as the family type, sex and sexuality, health conditions, etc. The cultural attitudes impacted are caused by consequently the governed principles determined the community, society, and family unit and perceptions versus actions. All right. So another aspect of the question: what is the public perceptions and the cultural attitudes on the effectiveness of legalized abortion services? So, based on a research that's called Delvey, the United States adults in the United States shared views on the topic of abortion, and this was done in the period in the year 1995 to 2022. So the public support for legal abortion fluctuated in the last 2 decades and is relatively stable for the past several years. There is 61% agrees with legalized abortion in all or most of the cases, and 37% agrees that abortion should not legalize in all or most cases. The research also shared expressed views on abortion from the religious affiliation in the year 2022. So the data shows that for the white evangelical Protestants, there were 74% agrees abortion should be illegal in all or most cases. In contrast, 84% of religiously unaffiliated Americans agrees abortion should be legal in all or most of the cases. 66 of Black Protestants and 60 Protestants non-evangelical. There was also a percentage of Catholic, 56%, who also agrees that abortion should be legal in all or most cases.
If I got raped and got pregnant, should I keep that child? If I had unprotected sex and got pregnant, but I'm not financially stable, why should I have to keep that child? Why is the government preventing us from helping ourselves if we know that we wouldn't be able to take care of a child if we get pregnant? Why should I carry a child for someone who raped me, had sex without my consent? Wouldn't I be miserable for the rest of my life? Why are these Christians, these religious persons, judging me because I want to have an abortion? Because I know if I carry this child, I won't be able to provide their basic needs. These are barriers that are preventing the legalization of abortion in Jamaica and the Caribbean. Why are your thoughts, your belief has to be preventing me from making a decision that is to better off myself? The government can put in place a lot of things that can help pregnant women to make their decisions easily, whether or not they decide to carry a child or to have an abortion. Instead of deciding for me if I want to do an abortion or not, why don't you put programs, policies in place that helps to educate people like me on what are the risks of abortion, so I can make my decision myself after knowing and being educated more about abortion? Why not put more funds into healthcare systems that would be able to assist me if I would like to get an abortion? Why not train more doctors so they can be more equipped with the skills they need to carry out a successful abortion to lower the mortality rate for pregnant women who are having abortions?